Dreams mean everything. If you're not able to dream and manifest what you want, just nothing to live for.
2021 was a tough year for many athletes. The death toll due to cardiac arrest was off the charts. And in the bodybuilding world, the statistics were even more alarming. The dead pool was now once again touching Olympian athletes, but this time the masses have gotten used to it. Big dead bodybuilders are now the norm. Compete on the Olympia stage and die in a few years. Unfortunately for Shawn Rhoden, he was the victim of a severe heart attack that took his life at the young age of 46. Shawn was known for his great size, aesthetics, and posing ability. Shawn's problems started in 2016 when he had an ulcer that was possibly caused by overuse of ibuprofen at a dose of 800 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily after a suspected injury. According to BuzzRx.com, the maximum amount of ibuprofen in adults is 800 milligrams per dose or 3,200 milligrams per day. You should keep these numbers in mind because a large ibuprofen overdose can lead to potentially life-threatening complications. Overdose symptoms can be mild to severe. Mild overdose symptoms include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and dizziness. Severe overdose symptoms are convulsions, hypotension, low blood pressure, little to no urine production, and even coma. Unfortunately for Shawn, the stomach was the least of his problems. According to a Fitness Feuds article from February 2022, Stanimal DeLongo claims Shawn Rhoden suffered 2 prior heart attacks. Stan affirmed that Shawn Rhoden had suffered 2 prior heart attacks before the fatal attack that claimed his life. He also stated that Rhoden had kept it a secret and Stan was one of the few people privy to this information. During Stan's move to Chicago from Los Angeles, Shawn Rhoden probably suffered a heart attack. However, he was not aware of it at the time, and during his stay at the hospital after the second heart attack, the doctor speculated that the previous one might have been a minor heart attack. The night before we were supposed to have dinner, he was on his way and he didn't feel good. He had hard time breathing and getting weak. But later on when he actually had a case, a second heart attack, and he ended up in hospital, when they asked him did you have prior episodes or stuff like that, he did mention this case. They were like yeah. That was like, first small heart attack. This video wouldn't be complete without showing the prediction Fitness Feuds made when Shawn was only 42 years old. Back then we discussed the reality that Shawn's body had had enough of this sport and it might be time to focus on his health. Have a look, and remember, Shawn is just one victim of this sport. There are so many others that deserve attention. There will be so many more.
It seems as if Shawn's body has been pushed to the limits, and is not responding to the training and supplementation. In the past, he has suffered from a hernia, pec injury, broken foot, and acid reflux. And after his latest near-death experience with the loss of 6 pints of blood, and exit from the 2018 Arnold Classic, one has to wonder, has Shawn's body simply given up? Is it time for this 42-year-old to forget about his dream of being crowned Mr. Olympia?
Is it time for this 42-year-old to forget about his dream?
In a recent interview done with Dave Palumbo at RX Muscle, titled, "I Almost Died," Shawn Rhoden discusses his health problems over the last few years, and why he recently had to pull out of the Arnold Classic. In a word, one can describe the interview as shocking. The discussion not only portrayed how dangerous the sport of competitive bodybuilding is today, but also pointed out the reckless mindset that many, if not all, bodybuilders have at the highest levels. In this video we will discuss Shawn's health problems, and question whether it is safe for him to continue doing this to his body. 2016 was a good year for Shawn Rhoden. He placed second at the Mr. Olympia contest, and was referred to as the second coming of Flex Wheeler. His conditioning was on par, and his body was the most aesthetic one on the stage. He was now the biggest threat to Phil Heath on the planet. But, while things looked good on the outside, Shawn's body was wreaking havoc on the inside. Shawn had a horrible case of acid reflux, and was unable to keep down any food. Instead of going to the emergency room, Guru Chris Aceto came to the rescue with donuts and protein powder. 2017 seemed to be a step backward for Shawn. In the interview with RX Muscle, he stated that his body was fighting against itself. Dave mentioned Rhoden's distended stomach, and his lower placing at the 2017 Mr. Olympia. Take a look at the 2016 and 2017 comparison photos. Shawn's body is stopping him from coming in 100%. "2018 seems to be the worst year for Rhoden, as he has apparently been fighting a battle with internal bleeding due to a stomach ulcer. The doctors ordered Shawn to receive 6 pints of blood before being released from the hospital. Once again, Shawn's body let him down during his prep. In the interview with RX Muscle, Shawn is quoted as saying, "What the hell is wrong with me?" And that question is not without merit. For one, in the interview, it appeared as if Shawn was not seeing a doctor on a regular basis for routine blood work. This is beyond absurd for a 42-year-old professional bodybuilder to not be seeing a doctor each month. The heart, kidneys, and liver need to monitor it when taking pro-level supplementation. Everyone knows this. Next, Shawn was throwing up blood for days before going to the hospital. In fact, he was so dehydrated, he had to drink the water during his shower. But, he continued to eat his regularly scheduled meals, because he did not want to lose any mass. Lastly, Shawn had been taking large amounts of ibuprofen for an extended period of time, around 2,400 milligrams. This can easily lead to stomach bleeding, and possibly liver failure, especially if combined with other dangerous supplements.
Listening to Chris Aceto saying, I saw him walk out and, the night before I saw him and I said he's fine. And that's not how you coach. What the hell does that mean? You gotta be every 10 minutes, you gotta be like, let me see what you got, let me see what you got. So I put a little bit of blame on Chris too on that one.
Yeah, that's his coach. I mean, who's responsible for his conditioning?
Your coach should be like Chad used to be in my room every 2 hours. Take off your clothes. Let me see what you got. Take off your clothes. As tired as you are, as